crafty friends. Nana Kay here from nanakdesigns.com and the Altered Book Nook on Etsy. We are going to back up a little bit and work on a design that several people have asked me to do a tutorial on. So I am doing one. Got a mess here sometimes, but anyway, we're going to do a tutorial. We're going to work on the Sunny Summer Days journal signatures. That's what we're going to work on, and I'm working on the first signature today. This was the first one in our book. You know, if you watched the last video, we had 3 signatures. Now, I have done a little bit of work to the signatures because when we cut off, we had not done any of the stitching on the signatures off the last video. The introduction video did not have the stitching done. I have gone in and done the stitching now, but I kind of went crazy since I was just sitting. I was babysitting again, and we were prepping for the storm, and I didn't want to do videos while the weather was bad, so I didn't do any videos, and so just kind of sat around for a couple of days and didn't do much. Well, I didn't do much on the video, as y'all know, you've probably missed me. I hope you missed me anyway. But I did do my stitching, and I went crazy. I really wanted to make this journal a little different. I didn't want to stay with all my standard everyday stuff that I normally do in a journal. I wanted to make it a little special. So besides adding the protective stitch along the page turns, I added it all the way around, and I did it on every single page. It is just so pretty. All this stitching is in this book. I love it. Now, it's making my book a little bit thick. As you see, the 3 signatures have already got some thickness to it. So we're probably going to be looking at, I'm going to say, 2.5, 3-inch spine on this particular signature, this particular journal. But anyway, that was what I did while I was waiting. And then earlier today, I did do this page, and I did it on a video, but my husband was remodeling the front steps, so when visitors come, they wouldn't fall through old rotten steps. So he has remodeled my front steps, and the noise was just intense at times. And I didn't cut the video off. I tried to keep it running, and it was just too noisy. So you didn't get to see me do this on a video, but it's just simply a pocket that we have in the stack here that we lined the back up and added the little buttons. So this is a real simple thing. And on the back side, we did this on the video too. This is a tuck spot I did. What I have done is I have decided I need to use up a lot of these old pages that I've been tearing out of these altered books I'm doing. So what I did is simply this. I took the old pages. I adjusted my size in my new HP Smart Tank 7602. And I think they were like 5/7, so I just adjusted the size paper that I was using and found the closest, run it through, and it actually done beautiful prints on the old pages. Little brittle, but you know, if you add a backing to these, they're going to be fine. These are even great just to make little, put a line of paper on the back of it and make journaling cards. These are the cutest things, and I thought, you know what? That's a way I can use up so many of these pages that I have. So that's what you're seeing here. I actually lined the back of it, and I glued it onto this, right straight onto this page, and it is designed to have a card or something, a letter, something. I might even just do an envelope with a letter in it and tuck it right here. So we missed that because the video was just not quality enough for me to show it to you. And I'm sorry, but that was a simple one. But if you do want to see a video of that particular tuck done, again, in my comments, tell me you want a tutorial and we'll do it. It's not that difficult. All right, and also I've added a few extra pages. I added a piece of plain paper that I use. It's really a nice quality paper. It comes out of books. I buy a lot of my books at Ollie's, which is a little discount store. And this was called Blank Sam's, and all it is just a blank journal. But when you take the pages out, they are attached. So they're not split apart, so I was able to slide them in. I love that. So we're going to do something on that. And then we've also got copy guide paper in this. I got 2 sets of copy guide paper in this particular journal. And I don't think I have a jewelry. I did have goalies. So we have goalie on all the signatures too. Now I do have to go back and put my stitching on the ones I've just added in, but we'll get that. You don't have to see me do the stitching, I don't guess. So, you know, those will be stitched eventually. We're going to be working today on the centerfold here. This is the page we're working on. So I'm going to set my signature up there. And what we are doing, if you see on my desk, is the 4-pocket centerfold flip. This is a 4-pocket centerfold flip. And this was one that I did on the Fuchsia Dreams book, but I did not do a tutorial on. Did make the comment, if you want to see this done, request a tutorial, and if people request it, I will do it. Well, we have requests, several requests. So this is what I'm doing for all you guys that requested to see the tutorial on the centerfold flip. Here it is. It's coming right now, today. Now, this is my second or third time trying to get it started, but anyway, I see where I just touched my thing. I am having difficulty still with my camera shaking. I'm going to have to do a ceiling mount to put my camera on so that when I touch my desk, it doesn't shake. But I'll try to be real careful today. That's so funny because when Nana gets to work, and I sometimes don't even pay attention to what's showing up on that video. But anyway, this is what we're going to work on. So you're going to need at least one page, front and back, printed. Whatever you decide to use as your base. And then you might want to print just a couple extra pages, which is what I've done. And then on your extra sheet, you're going to need to cut, okay, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Then you're going to need to take the front and back piece, and you're going to need to put it on your cutter on the 11 side as your length, and cut it at 6 inches. So this is what you end up with right here, 6 inches. There's what you're going to end up with, okay? Then for the side, to make your base, this is just the base we're working on. To make your base, you're going to need, let's get it up right, make your base, you're going to need to add pieces to these pieces of flaps. So once you got your piece cut, it'll be 11 by 6. You're going to cut it, fold it in half, okay? So then that's going to give you 5.5 inches naturally. Let's say 5.5 is 11 inches. So you should get 5.5 when you fold it in half. What you want to do at that point is you want to measure 4 inches because you want your actual book piece right here to be 4 inches. So you're going to measure 4 inches, and at the 4-inch mark, you're going to fold it up. So you should end up with a flap that is 1.5 inches. Get it as straight as possible, because you're making a little booklet form, and so you want it as straight as possible. So this is what you should end up with on your base. So let's go over it again. Your full sheet of 8.5 by 11, cut it off on the long side, cut it off to 6 inches. Okay? 6 inches. Then fold it in half. Fold it in half. Measure 4 inches from the center, from where it's folded. Measure 4 inches and fold up your flap on both sides. This is what you're going to end up with here. Now, I did embossing on mine, as you can see. I did the embossing on my piece. Not necessary, because you are going to cover this up completely, and you're going to cover this up completely, but I just did the embossing for a little bit of texture inside. And that's all it is for a little bit of texture. All right, you got your flaps. Now, what's remaining to do in order to build your initial base, and that's all we're doing right now is building the base. And once I build this base, the sky's the limit. You can do all kinds of things to it once you get the base built. But then you're going to need to take the same paper, and it doesn't necessarily have to be double-sided. It can be if you want it to be, but it doesn't have to be double-sided. You're going to take and you're going to cut these 2.5 inches wide by 6 inches long. Okay, let's say it again. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 2.5 inches by 6 inches. Cut your 2 pieces. All right. Here we go. We're going to finish the actual base that quickly. Less than 10 minutes it's taken me to actually do this part of showing you the base, okay? Now we're going to glue this flap. Well, excuse me, I'm really gluing the wrong thing, so let me wipe that off. Now, okay, already making her goop ups first thing. You need to glue it to this, so this is the one you need to put the glue on. Because if I put it on the other, I'm going to have glue in places I don't need glue, okay? Now, like I say, you do not have to use double-sided, so don't panic when you see the white side when I flip it over, because we're going to cover that up too. Okay? You need to paste that onto there, onto that flap. Make sure you still can turn it, and everything looks really good. Now, I usually just kind of flip it up like this, guys, on my desk, and push it. And then make sure that it flips over. And there's your first side pocket. Okay. All right. And then we're going to do it to the other one. Same thing again. Just glue it down good. Biggest thing is make sure this edge right here is really glued down. You don't worry about what it looks like, what your paper is, because, again, this is going to be covered all but just a small amount, maybe, on the outside edge, okay? So, now I'm going to smooth it so I can get a really good seal. Make sure everything is good and nothing sticking out. And right here, I have just a tiny bit, so I don't know if I cut something wrong. Let me see if it's sticking out the top. No, so I'm not going to bother. Well, yes, I am, because it's going to worry me. I'm going to just go in here and just slightly trim off that little bit excess that's hanging off. Excess, I'm sorry. Okay, on the other side, it looks like I got a little bit of excess hanging off right here. And I'm going to trim it. I don't care how perfect I try to be, I've always got trimming that I have to do. So don't ever let that worry you that you've got trimming that has to be done. And that's why they make scissors, so we can trim. Okay, I really probably didn't get that one on good since I'm having to cut both edges. So that's done now. That's done. That's done. Let's fold it and see what we got. That looks good. That looks good. Now on this fold here, when I've got it folded, I'm seeing a little excess here. Just being me, I'm just real finicky this way. Doesn't have to be cut off if you don't want it to be. But I want all my edges smooth. Okay? I don't see no excess hanging off that side. No. Okay. Now, I know that looks a little strange because you got this white here. But that's, like I say, don't worry about that because I am going to completely cut another piece that just overlays on top of that, a decorative piece. And my pocket is going to go here also. Now, on the other one, I did emboss this flap. I'm not going to emboss the flap on this one. This is all I'm going to emboss. And next, we have to print a mini page to go with this. So give me just a second. I got to print my mini. Okay, I've got this printed now. Okay, so what I had done is I specifically made a design. So we're going to go onto the front here. And like I told you, you weren't going to see this embossing, but I have actually designed a page to go into this one. And this is like, and it is just a miniature of the exact two same pages. This is extra. Put it in your little, over here. Okay. I have made an exact duplicate of the two pages here in a miniature form. So what I am going to do is make all this, try to make all this match. So when it's in your book, it's going to be in like this, and this is going to be what you see. So on this side, I want to put this design. It matches. And then when you flip it over in the book, that's the side that's going to go there, and we're going to match them. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. If you want something totally separate, you can go in there and just pick it out. I am now going to go to my embosser again, and I am going to emboss both these little mini pages because I do want them embossed, because these are not covered up with a pocket. However, that is an option you have here. Instead of it being a 4 pocket like I have it, I have a pocket here and a pocket here, and then I have a pocket here, and a pocket here. If you want a pocket here, you can have a pocket here. Now, before you decide how you want to decorate this, also, if you want to take and flip this piece here over and make your pocket on the front of your centerfold, you can do that. Then you can just decorate this with a pocket so that you would end up with this being a pocket here. And you can fold this one backwards, glue it on these 2 sides, and have a pocket here. So there are some options with this particular design. Once you get this base done, there are lots of different things you can do. Me, I am going to just simply decorate the front, and then all the activity will be on the inside once you open the flip. So give me just a second. Let me go emboss these 2 pieces and be right back. Okay, we're back here now. Didn't take me but a minute there. Okay, so I have embossed the front pieces. We need to take a look again and make sure we're getting on the right side. So let's set the signature back aside again. And let's get our piece out. Okay, we are going to put this piece onto the front right here. And I need to be really careful because it's going to have to be trimmed up just a little. Just a little bit. So I'm going to try to get it. I think the top and bottom are close, but it's going to hang over the sides of just a tiny bit. So I'm going to try to center it in there. So I'm only going to have just less than maybe 1/8 inch on each side cut off, but that's okay. Now, let me tell you, gluing on something that is embossed sometimes is a little tricky because, you know, as you know anything about embossing, the embossing raises it up a little bit. So we're just going to have to really kind of make sure that we get it on the hills and the valleys. And I'm going to use a smoothing tool, but because it's embossed, I don't want to mash it too flat because you lose some of the embossing effect. And you know what? I'm just going to make it easier, and just, even though it's going to take some of the excess frame off, I'm going to just try to put it on this edge. I'm going to fold this over into it too, because that way I've got it as close to that edge as I can get it. Okay. All right. Now, be really careful when you do this part of smoothing because you don't want to pressure embossing out. Press it down. Okay. And I've got just a little bit of an overhang there. Now, you have 2 options. No, you don't. You need to cut that off. I had got a little bit of glue there, so we're going to have to wipe it before I cut it because I don't want to mess my scissors up. But I can see it really plainly where it's got to be cut. Now, you are cutting on a fold, so you need to be very, very careful not to cut the actual fold. What I do is I put my scissors at a little bit of an angle, and I've told y'all this many times in my videos. It just helps you cut a cleaner cut when you're adding a layer, okay? So that just helps you cut your layer a whole lot cleaner. All right, there we go. All right, so that one is done. Got your embossing on it. It's really pretty. The only thing we've got left to do on this side now is add our lace. We're going to add some lace on this side. Now, another thing is, if you have, you need to already kind of know what lace you're going to do. If you have a lace that the edge needs to be hidden, don't glue the last ½ inch of this down yet, so that you can slide your lace up under it. I don't think we're going to have that issue, so we're going to go ahead and see if I got a piece of lace. What I'm going to work with, I don't know. I kind of like this yellow. It's not really lace. Oh, goodness, that was a bad kick on my desk. I'm sorry. But I like this bright yellow ribbon I've got, and I might use that instead of lace. But the lace makes it with it, and there's a trim of lace on the edge. That is pretty. Let me look over here in my lace pile. I really don't know what I want to do there. I really think I like... Yeah, I've got several things here. You know, I think I'm going to pull this ribbon out here. I think I'm going to go with this. This is just what my first instinct is saying. So I am going to go ahead on this piece here, since we're working on this, and get this front done. I like that. I just like it. Fabri-Tac. That's my go-to glue when I am actually gluing fabric or anything with a lot of texture to it down. I want my Fabri-Tac. Oh, another reminder while I'm thinking about it. We are approaching fall quickly, and lately in North Carolina, we've jumped right from summer to winter. Our weather kind of gets really cold quick. Or at least to me and my husband, it seems like we don't really have a long fall. We used to have fall a long time, and then just a few weeks of winter, but I think we've gone right opposite. We get a couple days, it seems like a fall, and then the rest is winter. But anyway, as we get older, we're just colder natured anyway. But glue sometimes has an issue shipping in the wintertime. So if you are planning on working through the winter on projects, make sure, guys, that you have your glue. Now, this is not going to work for me because I don't like the look we get on this side. It's all right. We'll do something else. I'm just going to end up adding a little extra touch of something across there, I think, and unless I just want to double this up, and I don't really think I want to do that. But we can sandwich that down, and that's exactly what we're going to do. See, this is one of the things about crafting. You really sometimes the plan you originally think you're going to make doesn't work out, but there's always a solution. So I do like that sandwich. It's probably a little thicker than I like, but I did end up using thinner paper, so I'm going to sandwich this particular ribbon on both sides, and let's see how that works out. If it don't work out, it just don't work out, but I think it's going to work out perfectly, and I like that. Okay, let's slide it up. I'm back over, and so this might be a little bit intricate work here, because you want to try to get it as close as possible so that when you're flipping, yeah, that is really cute. That worked out well, guys. Okay, and then I'm going to come in and trim it off right there at the top. Okay, so that side of the front is done. Now you're going to come in, of course, and you're going to add a little piece here. So I'm going to keep this unglued right along, if you notice, right along this edge. I didn't do all the way up because I'm going to want to put, you got to put the piece of paper that you're going to slide in here, you want it the same width. And then you want some of this to lay over the top, okay? So just leave it, don't just glue it right along that edge first to get the sandwich, and then leave this flap open for a few minutes because we'll fix it up in just a minute. All right, next side. Again, we're going to glue the valleys. Make sure which side I don't need to get ink on. I don't need to get glue down this edge. Okay? And the reason is that we're going to cut some of that off. When I'm gluing this much, I really need my other needle that comes with my Berry Arts glue. But again, like I was saying on your glue, don't forget to order your glue for the winter. I've already ordered mine, Fabri-Tac especially, Berry Arts glue. They deliver the winter so far. They haven't refused to. But Glitter Art glue, I think it's the Glitter Art glue, will not deliver in the very, very frigid cold months. So just keep that in mind, guys. Especially if you're new to crafting, you probably didn't know that. Somebody had to tell me. I didn't know it. Although I don't use much glitter art glitter glue. I have used art glitter glue and I like it. Don't get me wrong, it does the job, but price wise and I just like my berry art. But that's just my preference one. Not for any particular reason. I just like berry art. Be real careful. I'm talking and I'm not getting this lined up really well. And well, it looks like I'm going to have some, maybe I didn't size it right. I might have cut it a little bit wrong here. And that's okay because we're going to stain that edge, top edge, with our stain a little bit. Okay. All right, so got that on again. So there's your base. All right, like I said, be careful when you're doing this part. You do want to press because you want to get all the air out from under so you get a good seal, especially since it is embossed. But you don't want to press your embossing out of the front piece. This piece don't matter so much because we're going to put pockets. Okay, now again, need to trim it off. Hold the scissors at an angle so that we don't cut our flip. And look, if we do cut our flip, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. There are ways we can repair it, but we preferably don't want to have to repair things. Happy accidents, if we can possibly. I'm hoping I didn't just have one. No, I did. All right. All right, so now I can press it down really good right there on my edge. All right, and we're going to go on with our lace on this one. I see this little bubble here. We got to get that out because we want a good seal along this edge here. I guess I didn't do it at all. Okay. Okay. There we go. Nice seal. Okay, so this piece is going to be stitched in your book. Now, since we're going to use a very thin piece of paper, well, I really feel like we need to reinforce this seam a little bit. We will work on that, but remember that anywhere you have folds, it's going to be opening and closing, and we are going to have to do something different here too. Where I told you I just sandwiched it, we're going to have to actually cut the ribbon here too, because it's interfering with our opening of our flap. And y'all probably already saw that and probably were yelling at me, and I didn't hear you, I'm sorry. But yeah, on this piece right here, we're going to have to make sure it's separated. No big deal. We're going to get it done. And then I'm going to have to seal the edges of that ribbon. There we go. It opened. All right. Now it's fine. Okay, so your flap still will open with no problem. I feel sure I haven't got it completely cut in half here. This is the joy of crafting. There we go. All right. And I will take Fabri-Tac probably, or either this my Berry Arts glue, go right along this edge like this, the glue edge, and just pat some glue on it and let that be drying. You still want to make sure it's going to open, but you want to pat that a little bit with some glue. That keeps it from fraying later on. Okay, that's all I do. I just pat it, and this Berry Arts glue dries so quickly, it'll dry in just a few minutes, okay? All right, so our flips are still flipping. Okay, that's what we want to be sure of. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and get our ribbon on this side. Okay. I got to get in camera, don't I? I have got my camera up a little higher, and we are starting to get some shadows because it's real early here. I started at 7 this morning, and this is the first time I've done early morning with this window over here to my left as my main lighting source. My very large glue, it's already being a little finicky with me. I put too much that time. Let me sim that down just a little bit, guys. Okay. All right. Okay, got our ribbon. Okay. Make sure they're kind of matching here. See, I'm making sure they're kind of matching along. I don't want them, you don't want one sticking out way more than the other one. Okay, so that edge is done. Now, this time, instead of just flipping it over, we're actually going to go ahead and cut it off because we know we need it separated. We already know that now. The same thing on this back side. This time, remember again, we only want the glue along the fabric part of the ribbon right now because we want to be able to put our, I got a big blob there, guys. Bear with me. Let me get that off my desk because I do not want my artwork to get messed up. Nothing worse. I say it's happy accidents, but we just don't want any. Okay? Now, line it up again. Line it up. I'm getting my head in. So far, I'm not being sticking my head in the camera quite as bad. Okay? Okay. Good old smoothing tool here. Yes, I know it's a paint scraper, thank you. But, now I know. I had somebody inform me that was a paint scraper, so now I know. To me, though, it is my smoothing tool. I made a whole new use for it, so go buy your smoothing tool. Any tool shop would have one. All right, got some ribbon left over for another day, so we'll throw that back in our box. We've got our ribbon left open, so we can actually put our flaps in. So that's the next thing we're going to work on, is our little flaps. And you won't lay it out like this again, so don't worry about that little rooster's cone being sticking up there. And a rooster cone, you know, that little thing on top of a rooster's head. So that's what that looks like to me, kind of. All right, so now we're going to work on these flaps here, the background base, because we're going to have a pocket here. And I'm having to do this because I've got this seam here. So we're going to now decide what we want there. I'm going to look at my papers, because a lot of this is going to be covered up with a pocket. So I don't have to have a lot, but we want something with some color maybe. I really want more of the flower to show. So on this side, I think this is the one I'm going to use. On that side, and I might use this one on this side. Okay, guys. So remember, our flap was, when we measured it before, it was 2.5 by 6. Or 2.5 by 6 flap. So that's what we're going to cut here. We're going to cut our design 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches this way. And 2.5 over. So when this is my measurement, 2.5 over. Okay. I cover my glue up because it's already starting to get thick. Okay. And yes, I took these out. We might do some decorations with these. And I do that a lot. I'll be looking for one thing and find something else, and I'll think, that'll work. Okay. Sure we got a good cut. We do. Lay that aside. All right, so we've got our 6. Excuse me, they're 2.5. Now we got to cut our 6 inches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be a line right here. save this, do something with it, like a paper clip, hidden paper clip for one thing. Okay, so this one's going to attach right here, and then we're going to glue going to attach that there, and we're going to glue down our fabric after we get the piece on. Okay, glue the fabric down after we get this piece on. Okay, your edge here is this one here is going to be hidden, so we're not too, it's got to get up underneath that. And this glue dries fast, so you've got to move fast. But the main edge you're concerned about is this one here. You want it nice and smooth. Okay, I'm going back and looking at my sample if you wonder what I was just doing, and I had not put the lace on that side. I had actually put the lace here, but we're going to put a piece of lace there. So we've just added a little extra something to this one. It still flips and does fine, though, okay? And I think it's going to be so pretty in the book. Oh, let's measure, make sure. Oh, goodness, I got to make sure we didn't make it too wide. And we didn't. We're still good. We're still good. Okay. All right, I think this one's down. Got a little bit of a piece showing right here I don't like. And for anything that's sticking out where it shouldn't be, we're going to take a look at this right here. We're going to stain this edge. Let's start taking care. Now, that's still showing too much right there for me. And if you can't get it with that, I always use this little sanding block also. Remember, you can sandpaper lightly and get an effect you need. But be careful, because look what it just did to my lace on my ribbon. Okay, so there we go. All right, stain it all the way around, just lightly. You don't have to do a lot. And if you want a lot, that depends on how much you like the staining. Okay. That flap is done. Now, there's still going to be a pocket there. And we still got to have a pocket here. Okay? Just all follow me, all right? This is why this one ends up with so many layers. That's why you do not want to use 110 pound as a base on this, because you're layering on top and you don't want it to be so thick on the center, in the center. All right, so the next piece we decided on, I think, was this butterfly. Let me look real quickly. I don't want to act too quickly and not have exactly what I want, but I really kind of like that butterfly. Like I said, we're going to have pockets here anyway. It's not going to show up all that great to start with. Let's just go with it. It's what we've got, so let's just go for the sake of time. All right, we need a 2.5. Okay, I'm going to cut this one off 2.5 again. And I do not normally like to cut on this side into the paper, but my arm is better and I'm able to hold it stronger, so I'm going to take a risk at it. And we did just fine. Cut just fine, okay? That over my scrap pile. And again, now we need 6 inches. And I want more design at the top showing above the pocket. So I am going to cut this little excess off here. Now this is just me trimming up an actual design, and that's not it's not something you would necessarily have to do. It's up to you. But I want most of this showing right here, up here. So, because when I put my pocket in, I'm still going to have this above here showing at this angle, okay? So now we need to do it 2.5. It's 2.5, and now we need to make sure we're at the 6-inch mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's my 6-inch mark right there. Like I say, guys, I can't live without this mat. Mat really saves me a lot of time. You know, used to when I first started doing this 3 or 4 years ago, I've been doing this since 2018. And I used to go to my cutting board, what y'all call a guillotine cutter, most people, and I cut everything. Can you imagine the time I was spending when I didn't use this craft knife? Oh my goodness, guys, it was horrendous. Always running to that guillotine cutter and even cutting just these small 2.5 inch pieces. It was something else. Okay, I think we've got it laid in there, and I want to do this. Okay. I'm going to have some excess sticking out, but that's okay. We can trim it. That's what we're able to do, but since I've got it laid, I'm going to do it this way. I might think I'm crazy, but that glue dries so quickly, and this still may not work. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. I am going to have to go get me some drink, something cold. That coffee is sure not doing it this morning. As I get older, it's strange. Usually, as people get older, they're more avid coffee drinkers. Lord, forgive me, my Aunt Brenda, if you're watching my video. But as I get older, I am liking coffee less and less. I don't know if is it coffee just don't taste the same as it used to. I don't know what it is. But guys, I am liking it less. And well, it came out anyway. That didn't do a whole lot, did it? I'll make sure I'm up the right way. Yeah, I'm sorry. But I don't love coffee like I used to. I used to drink 4 or 5 cups a day, and now my husband and I both, it's funny. It's funny because a lot of things in life, my husband and I have been together over 50 years. We met in high school, and we've been together. We've been together almost since the first day we met. That is strange, isn't it? But both of us, when one of our tastes changes, the other one's kind of changes. It's the strangest thing. So if you don't believe people can be soulmates, hey, my husband and I are living proof people can be soulmates, because I feel his pain, he feels my pain. When I'm sick, he just senses it. When he's sick, I sense it. And even in taste, our taste changes. Both of our tastes, and so it's both of us. Like, he doesn't like coffee much anymore either. It's kind of funny. But anyway, I sure got off on a tangent on that one, didn't I? But anyway, it's not bad for you guys to know a little bit of our history. It's kind of nice to know a little bit of personal stuff about the person that you're watching or viewing. It's kind of interesting to know what people do, different walks of life. We've been moderately on the low income basis all of our life, yet we've lived very comfortably. It's strange. We've not gone. I mean, I'm not saying there's not things we've wanted. Okay, don't get me wrong, but we have never lacked the things we needed. Even though we were on the low income spectrum, we've never lacked food or drink. We have had times it was a struggle to pay the light bill, the water bill, the cable bill. Unfortunately for us, I don't know why it happened, but both of our children had serious illnesses when they were little, my daughter especially, and then it caused her permanent handicaps all her life. She was born premature, not perfectly normal. She was born 6 weeks premature. Little teeny thing, 4 pounds, 2 ounces. She was a little thing. But after she got past the initial stages of being small, she done fine. And then unfortunately, in first grade, she contacted a type of spinal meningitis anyway. Spinal meningococcia is what I think they called it. And her fever was really extreme for days. And my poor baby, unfortunately, when she went back to school after that, had lost a lot of memory. Then she was classed as ADHD and dyslexia. Dyslexia was the worst one. She, my sweet daughter, from that point on, after second, third grade, she could not pass the spelling test. And I couldn't understand it because at home, we would sit in here and tell her, Kimberly, please spell your words. And she'd spell them right out to us. So that's how we discovered she was having a problem, because when she would go to write it down, she couldn't write the words, yet she could spell them out. Strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, we finally got that conquered, and I'm so proud of Kimberly, because now Kimberly has fought her handicap, fought the dyslexia all her life. Don't get me wrong, it's still a struggle. But now she has gone to college, 4-year degree, and is a first grade teacher. And understands other children, especially children with ADHD. She has some in her class, and she understands those children better than anybody I know. And she works with them, and the only thing is she gets a little sensitive when other teachers don't seem to be responding to the handicaps. She does have a little bit of impatience with other teachers, and I tell her she's going to have to understand everybody hasn't walked the journey. You've walked the journey, and you understand these kids. But she loves those children. School's starting back, and I do help her sometimes with some of her projects and all she does in school. But we are very proud of our daughter Kimberly to overcome a handicap like that. It has been a struggle. And there I have got off on another tangent, but as we go, I'm just working, and this is what I do. I work and just keep going. All right, guys, look at that. We've got the base almost finished. Well, the base itself is finished. The base is finished, except for if you wanted to add, let me look and see what I did on the other one. Give me just a second. I added panels here too, on this side. And I kept saying to you, look, there's nothing, no pockets are going here. The pockets are going here. So we can just do pretty decorative panels here. So that's what we've got to pick out now. Then our base itself will be done, and then we'll start on our pockets and our tags. So what do we want? Oh, goodness, I just shook my desk again. I'm just getting mad with myself now. Stop it. I am sorry, guys. I just want something pretty there. Let's see. You think, guys, that we could do the one of the printed pages in there? This would be pretty. It's a mighty intense in color. But I think that's what I want to do. I think I want to do one of the printed pages that I told you we done. That's intense, guys. Let me make sure there's no ugly words on this piece of paper, because I see the word Christmas meal, so this had something to do with a holiday. I see Christmas Eve, so that's, I don't know. All right, let's see. If I was to do it there, am I going to have enough? Yes. Guys, I'm going with this. I like it. You do what you want on yours, but I kind of like this printed piece that I had already done. I was getting ready to go find something really fancy to put there, but I like this book part here. Now, let me tell you a little something else, too. Like, again, options. You could actually go in and put, I don't know if I've got a piece of my lined paper. I don't even know if I did line. Yeah, I did do lines. I have an extra one here. It would have been so nice if I had had an extra one, but I don't. This is why I wish that I would always remember to print 2 and 3 of something. Of course, we could go with that design there. And put both of these designs on here. Which I think, you know what? I like this better. I am going to do this. I'm going to cut out, I'm going to take this extra piece I have here. And I am going to, I'm going to stick my head in the thing again. I'm just going to whack it off right about there. Okay, we're going to work with one at a time. Okay. I want to get out of the center of this, I'm going to get pretty much the swing. So our flap again is 2.5 inches. Let me just make sure I'm right. 2.5. We need a 2.5 inch. So let's try to cut 2.5 inches out of this main piece here. So bear with me. I got to do a little looking here. I'm going to lay it there. And if I cut 2.5, guys, I think I laid it right on here. Sometimes I think, or no, the good Lord is just with me when I'm doing this, because it's like stuff just kind of lay right where it's supposed to lay, when it's supposed to lay. All right, so that piece, we saved this piece of scrap. Don't know what I use it for, but something. And then we're going to come over here, again at the 2.5 inch mark, which will be right there, is my 2.5 inch from my tape line. No, it's not. 1, 2. From this line right here, it's to 2.5. And we still got all the swing in there, so bear with me as I cut. Let's make sure we're right on the line. We're going to cut right down this line here. Okay, so we got our 2.5 out of this one. Oh, isn't that pretty? And that's going to slide right there. And then we need to kind of center it. Okay, I'm going to trim it off after I glue it. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it down. That worked out perfectly, didn't it, guys? I tell you, that really is a pretty piece. Okay, let's look at it again. Okay, get it right on that line. Make sure you can still fold it. Okay, and you can. And trim it. Push over just a tiny bit. Now I've got to go on that line. I can put lace on that. I'm going to have lace on this back side. Remember that. Oh my goodness, that is really pretty. All right. Come in here. And we're going to trim it off right here. This is where I have to work backwards. Oh, get it up right here. All right, got that on. We come back in a few minutes and, well, we go ahead and do it. I have got to go get me another pad here. This one's the re-ink. This one's something. Okay, a little bit of ink around it, not a lot. I just don't want enough to just hide any white spots it's trying to peek through. Well, that turned out well. Get a little piece of lace on it, and that'll be beautiful. Oh, that's so bright and pretty. Okay. Same thing with this one. We're going to have to try to cut out our 2.5 inside of this one. So the first one I want to probably cut out. I know I want to cut some of that off, so not even going to worry about the width right now. We're just going to go in here, make sure it's straight, get on this line here. And I just want to cut beyond this chair and get rid of this excess, because we don't. I think I'm going to cut it right down that line. Straight. I can't really see my dots on this, my tapes. Okay. Watch knife. Remember, I tell you, this knife is not forgiving. It doesn't know the difference between that paper or your skin. So be real careful. All right. Now, we've got it that way. We need to cut it 2.5. 1, 2. I can cut better if I do it this way. 2.5, and I'm going to do the same thing again, which is what I told you I don't like to do, cut within my design, but that's the halfway mark there. That's the halfway mark there. Yep, that gets us the table, the chair, everything, right down the center, okay? All right. Extra piece, save it for a belly band or something. All right, we've done the same thing again. We've cut the design, kept our chair and table. That's going to be our center focal point. We're going to glue it down right about there. And our base is complete. Okay. You know what I really would love is for you guys to take this base from where it is right now. Forget anything else I do after you get the base done and do your own designs, and then go onto my blog on my website, the NanaKDesigns.com. Go on that blog and post. I would love for you to go in and post some of the things you do to show me the different ways you did it that wasn't the way I did it. I would love for you to do that. I hope a lot of my followers will not be intimidated and will do that, because that's how we learn. You may have ideas I don't have, but I would love to see your work doing that. Okay, we're going to add our lace on, or are we? No, let's wait on this lace here to the last. Let me look at, I just hit my desk again. Okay, the only lace we need to add is right here. Well, yeah, we don't have to, because we're going to put it on the inside. The pocket won't affect that. So I have a specific little lace. Let me go see if I can, well, what kind of do I want this lace? This is a strange little thing here. Guys, I kind of like that. It's not really lacy though, is it? Is it pretty enough to y'all? No, let's go with lace. We can always add daisy somewhere else. And I don't want bright white. And if I could, I would show you my ribbon section over here. But I just specifically do not want really white. I think I found the one I'm going to go with, if I have enough of it. I may not have enough here, but I think this is the lace I'm going to use. It's kind of a cream colored. Do I have enough? I do, just enough. Okay, that's the lace I'm using. Use whatever you got. Don't go out and buy extra lace and all just because you see me use something. That's the lace I'm going to use. And again, I got to shake my glue down. I have a phone holder that's shaped like this. It's got a lip, and I usually lay my glue in that, but my husband confiscated it to put it in the truck so he could sit his phone in it on the console. Our little boy, bless his heart, he at 2 years old just talk, never stops. Wonder where he gets it from, right? That's funny. Yeah, he gets it from Grandma. But and he calls me Nana, by the way. That's where we got the name Nana K, because all my grandkids have called me Nana all their lives. But Christian will sit in the truck and never hush. So his granddaddy has rigged up the video on his phone. He uses YouTube and cuts Mickey Mouse or Veggie Tales, whatever the little fella says he wants to watch. And he's using my phone holder in his truck and won't let me have it back. He says, no way. So him and Christian have confiscated it. So if I can find another one, I'm going to buy me another one. Because that glue stays better if you got it put in that phone holder up here so that it's already ready to go. And I can make one out of cardboard. I probably could design my own, and that's what I may do. And if I do, I will show it to you guys and tell you how to make it. We'll do a video on it. Okay, got that one on. There's that lace on. I think it's on tight, but we're going to make just double sure by doing just a small press I got it as straight as I could. I hope it's good. That's right, pretty. It's a little floppier than I want, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens. I think it's because the lace is a little longer than what I used on the other one. But I'm getting a good stream this time with my glue. Oh, sure am. I got too quiet, didn't I? Okay. Let's add this last piece on here. Here. Try to get it straight. Okay. Hold it a minute. Okay, that looks okay to me. I really wish I had put the lace on the other side, but that's okay. It's on. All right, there's the lace on. Now, for the basic most part, your design, your base is done. What is left is simply a matter of adding the pocket, whatever pocket you're going to put here, whatever pocket you're going to put here. You are going to lose, if you put pockets here and here, you're going to lose some of your design. And I think I have really goofed bad. I did. I don't know if you guys can see the goof. If you do, write me. I'm not going to tell you what the goof is. But if you see it, write me and let me know. But you know what? We're not going to see it anyway because we're going to cover it up with a pocket. Okay, now I have got to decide what kind of pockets I'm going to do. On the other book, if you remember, on Future Dreams, we had a beautiful scallop edge across here. Beautiful scallop edge. That was done with Heartfelt Creation die cuts. I don't think I'm going to go that intricate in here, and if I do, I'm just going to hand cut my own. The way I would do that is decide what I want from my pockets. And I have this design right here. I really actually probably could make me a pocket out of this. I'm sorry I'm coughing again. I apologize. And I'm trying to decide. I think since I've got so much design here and so much design here, I want more yellow, more of the plain for my pocket. Okay, so I'm just going to do a basic pocket here. All right, so let me get my pockets shapes designed, and I'm not going to put any kind of pocket here, I don't think. We may do some kind of extra trim, like we might put a couple of daisies on, some kind of little trim in here. I'm not sure if we're going to do anything at all to this inside flap. We didn't on the other one, and it was still pretty. We got to do a pocket here and a pocket here. So I'm going to go get my pockets designed and my tags that are going to go in them. They'll have all the dimensions and all for you, and we'll be back with that video attached right to this one. So just bear with me. Okay, we got the pockets prepped now, and we're going to have one pocket here and one pocket here, as we have talked about. I went in and I just done a pretty scallop trim that you see there, little scallop, and then I stitched all the way around. Now, yeah, it's blank, really blank right now, but we're going to decorate it. And then for the inside, I got two pockets here, same thing. I've done a pretty scallop edge, and we've made it where it's going to fit almost completely right up to that center, almost, just a tiny little gap there. And I don't think I'm going to do anything else to these pockets. I think I'm going to leave them just like they are because they're stitched all the way around and they've got a pretty pattern already on them. We're going to do two really large either tags or journal cards for the top. And we're going to put these two here and here. And I definitely am going to do something with them, and I'm trying to decide. I just want a piece of clip art that I can glue on it, and I think, at least I think for this one, I think I'm gonna, I may try to find this one again, because this one, the flower's so big that I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it on. I want it about the same size, so I may have to print that again, because I can't seem to find a design that's gonna work. But that's the way it goes. You find one thing you like, and then you can't find the other thing. And that is typical for the part of the course for me. I'm trying to decide if there's anything on here, which I like that daisy. I might go with that. I hate cutting up a tag, but I believe I've got this tag already cut up, and if I don't, we'll do it again. But all this noise you hear in the background is me cutting that piece of tag out. Okay, let's just see what we can get using this. I don't want to have to back it or anything. I'm just going to lay it on, and then I'll go look at my die cut pieces and see if I've got something. And we have got some cute buttons, but I am cutting this out, and I'm not making it, I'm not trying to be perfect. A while ago, after I started working on the pockets, cut the video off for a few minutes and started working on the pockets, I thought, I am always trying to make everything so perfect. And I don't know why, because if I'm going to be truthful with you guys on making this stuff, the flaws that we end up with, or what I call flub ups, I don't know what you guys call them, when you mess up, make an error, and it didn't turn out quite like you want, all those are reality in crafting. And I really think I'm going to quit worrying so much on these videos about the little goose ups, because I have tried to do this one particular video of this insert. This is our fourth take on it. So I've been at it since 6 o'clock this morning, and it's 11 now. The video shouldn't have took that long. And that's just because always something that I'm just not happy with, and I'm going to quit being that way. It is a reality in crafting that things are not always going to work out the way you want them. So, guys, if my flaws bother you, I'm sorry. I really do appreciate my subscribers, but I am going to be less picky, is the word I'm going to say. Less picky about how I do that. Now, I'm trying to decide, do I want some greenery behind it? I like the size. I like the way this is fitting on there. So for right now, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to glue it, because I may want to put a little something more behind it. And let's cut this one out and see how it ends up. And guys, I am sitting a little bit back because I'm trying not to hit my table and shake the video. But that would give me a headache if I was trying to watch it with it shaking. But anyway, I am cutting the flower out right now. And I think I'm going to leave this little bit of greenery on this one, because I'm really wishing I had some greenery behind that one. And I may go back and hit my table. Go back and do that. I think I'm really going to start doing these videos. I'm just going to do them, and however they turn out, they turn out. And I'm just going to mass produce. And that way, if you don't like one, you might like the next one. Because I am not going to keep being so picky about my videos. My style is my style, and I am who I am, and crafting is not a perfect craft. It is just not. Especially this one. It's really, a lot of times, a lot of my stuff is trial and error. I could really show you some books from my very first ones, and the difference in then and now, so you understand that you're going to go through a growing process with it. Okay, this one. Okay, and guess what, guys? Even after leaving that greenery in, I don't like it. So there you go. That's what happens sometimes. But I couldn't put it back in if I had rather had it. So better to leave it in, check it and see if you like it. And if you don't, then you can always cut it back out. That's what we're going to do. We're going to cut it back out. All right, so there's both of those. Get our scraps off our table. Clean up a little bit because I really don't want to keep being so messy here. It's just hard to work around all this mess. All right. I don't like background here. Now, what can we add? Do we need to add anything? Because we have so much decoration here. Do we really need to add anything else? I'm really thinking not. I really don't think we need anything else. I do need some more color here. That's a little concerning that I don't have enough color there. So what I can do possibly is find a piece that doesn't have such a gigantic. All right, let me try something else. And you see, this is why I tell you guys to print some extra sheets, because you will use them this way a lot. Yeah, guys, I'm going to try something else because I didn't have the exact perfect picture that I wanted. And I guess I could have reprinted this, but then again, I don't really want it to be exactly the same. I like a lot of variety in my clip art, and what I'm doing here is probably creating a new piece of clip art, basically. And I shouldn't say new piece of clip art. It's a new spray, which would be, somebody else's art done in a different format. Yeah, this is taking a little bit of time. I'm sorry, but that's how it goes. Fussy cutting is one of those things that you're either going to love it or hate it. I love to fussy cut, but I know y'all hate to watch it. So I'm trying to do it quickly, and that's not something I usually do quickly. Usually my fussy cutting is funny. I usually sit late at night and watch other craft people doing their crafts, and I fussy cut while I'm listening to them talk. A lot of times I'm really not watching them because, when you're fussy cutting, you got to pay attention to what you're cutting. If you hear sawing going on in my neighborhood, I don't know if you guys know, but we had a bad tornado back in May, a really bad one. And it tore up all the houses around us, and we are slowly, finally, all of us, just finally getting our roofs on, and that's what you're hearing, a lot of construction going on. My husband's over there right now working on my house. I like that better. It's very similar, but not exactly the same, and I'm gonna keep twisting this until I get it where I want it. It's not, because I don't want it identical to this layout. So we're going to keep twisting, and I think this is the way I'm going to go with it right there. I'm going to glue those pieces down on this pocket. So we're going to take the pocket off. This one's going to be simple, and I am going to stain it just a little. Doesn't have to be a lot, but just a few pieces of staining around the edges just to brown it up a little. I don't really want to mess my daisies up too much, though, because I like them to stay pretty bright and white. Okay, and in the placement, we're going to drop her down about middle way. So there's the placement. And I went off a while ago and didn't put the top on my glue, but it's still gluing pretty good. Okay. All right, so now you got to lay it down where you want it, right, to start with. Okay. Smooth it. Smooth it. Smooth it. Now you got a little piece sticking up right here. I'm going to have to go back to some glue on, but we'll touch all that up at the end. Got some loose threads. I gotta get them off. I don't like loose threads much. Alright, so that's done. Let's go in and go ahead and put this pocket down and get this one out of our way. All right, got that done. All right, I want just the edge of that covered. I want it all the way to the bottom. It's going to cover a little tiny bit of my fabric, and we may have to come back in and put fabric glue there. I don't know. We're going to start with this and see what happens. If it doesn't hold, we will go back and get the fabric glue, which I think I'm going to have to squirt a little bit underneath. Yep, it don't look like it's going to hold. So, get the tip off. It's time for me to get my bottles out. I have ordered my glue, some more glue this past week, so I may have to go dig them bottles out, because this sure don't want to stick with my other one. I don't know. Okay, hold it with my hand just a minute. There we go. Now that took it that time. That's what we want. Okay, and I think the same thing here. I'm going to have to put just a little bead of glue across the fabric part of this, which is where we're attaching it anyway. You want to keep as much of the pocket open as you can, because it's already going to have to take, it's already going to be small tags that's going to go in it. So that leaves us about how much room? We're going to have to make a tag that's only about 1 3/8 wide. It's not just one, yeah, about 1 3/8. I think is what we're going to do there. We'll see. But that's how wide our tag's going to have to be, because we don't have a lot of space on these little flaps here. Okay. Oh man, got to redo this one. It got on sideways. That's another thing when you're gluing this stuff down, make sure you close it to make sure that you're where you're supposed to be. You don't want it showing on this side, so I had to redo that one, but that's okay. Plenty of time. That's the one thing Fabri-Tac gives you a little bit of time to adjust, and I just adjusted it. Now, they should have glued all right at the bottom with the other glue, because it's paper to paper. All right, so that side is done. Yep, that's how it's done. Let that dry. All right, let's get the pocket on the other side. Now, I'm thinking we probably just need to take the white one off the bottom. And I might want that one going that way. And this one going this way. I kind of like that. All right, let's do it this way. Let's go ahead and cut this daisy off. Let's separate these two daisies. And look, don't throw this other daisy away, because it's virtually whole, so you can use it somewhere else. So don't throw it away. Put it in your little fussy cut box. That's why I have this here. That's my little fussy cut box. Put it right there. Okay. Now, we got to get the two pieces and figure out how we want them. And I think that's the way I'm going to design them. Right there, okay? So we'll start with this one. Right here. Okay. Got kind of at what we call asymmetrical, guys. That's asymmetrical. Anything that goes outward like that is asymmetrical. I was a florist for many years. That was my original career in life. That and I also was an editor for a small newspaper for many years. But I learned a lot in forward design about placement, so that's why that helped me a lot in what I do now. Believe it or not, everything you do, really in life, is never a waste. Anything new you learn, everything you do, because a lot of aspects of what you learn, you're going to carry with you in other things. And a lot of my job, especially my newspaper editing and my I was a graphic arts manager for a large newspaper in New Bern, North Carolina for a while. And I learned a lot about placement and graphic arts. That's why I think I'm able to do what I do here. My designing came from that, most likely. I feel like. Not, I have some natural abilities, but I do feel like the equipment and all that I've learned to use and things came from doing advertising in the graphic arts department, or putting the newspaper together. That's what we did. Okay, that looks nice, guys. These two flowers are a little larger, so it gives you a little different aspect. No need of pulling that one up. So we might as well just go ahead and put the glue right up here, right on this edge. I'm just going to go ahead and use it on the whole thing. I'm getting a good string now. That's what I want, a good string of glue. I hope it's a good string. It's this piece here. I'm sorry. I usually have wet wipes here, but I think I'm out. I'm going to have to go get some more. My grandson, I use them on him all day. I'm constantly wiping his hands and face. We don't have running water over here in my studio yet. That's one of the projects we're still working on. And I have to grab the wet wipes when he makes a mess with his cookies and things. Okay, so let's tack it down here. Got a little glue that popped out there. All right, get the pocket down. Maybe when you get this one down the first time, you don't have to do it over and over. Okay, guys, we've got that pocket down. So we are almost done. Almost. We are nearly complete. All right, next one, we're going to put these pockets on the inside, and then we're going to work on our tags. This is why this tag will have a unique size, and that is why when you buy my kits, you're not going to, well, I do have a lot, but not an excessive amount of pockets, tags, things, because I don't care how many times I try to design a kit where you don't have to have anything extra. There's always places where the tags I have to be adjusted or refitted or something to fit the area that I'm working in. There's no exact science to it. And like this one, I don't even know that I've even, well, I might have. This might be one. See, I don't have to cut the sides off to make this work. So, you know, we'll see. If I've got something pre-made, I may not. Look, we'll see. But that's why a lot of the kits don't have, even not just mine, other designers don't have a lot of pockets and pre-done tags and things, because you can actually take any page and make a tag. It's really, once you've got the patterns or the templates, what we call templates, once you've got the templates, this is funny because this thing is just sitting here bubbling right out the top of my thing. Once you got the templates, you don't have to actually have pre-printed ones. It's nice to have them, but there's so many times, just like designing these extra flips and all, that are not actually part of the journal kit itself. These are just ideas that you can come up with to decorate your journal kit. You may need odd sizes. So this is one of the things you're going to learn in making your own journals, is that you're going to be designing a lot of your own journal cards, which is good. You'll learn to do it. But I'm going to tell you, the vast majority of my pockets, tags, and all comes out of the preprint, out of extra printed pages. Really, the vast majority of them in the books that I sell are not even out of the kit. They're actually ones that I've just actually done on the spot when I've got something ready. Okay, so guys, look at this. We have almost got it. For y'all that really wanted that flip video, you about got your wish now. We're almost there. Here it is. I see a little bit of trim out I want to do. And it may not be a thing I can do about it. No, it's level, so it's just gonna, and it's not popping out this way. So I don't know what my problem is, what I'm seeing that I don't like, but anyway, here it is. All right, so here we go. This is going to go in the center of our journal. I can't put it in now, guys. This is something that has to go last because this has to be stitched in. and we're not going to put it in just yet. We're just going to paper clip it to the center after we get through it, and as we're doing the rest of the pages, this will be paper clipped in. But there's your centerfold. It goes this way, and you can flip it out. There'll be a tag in here. There's going to be a tag in here. There's going to be a tag here and a tag here. So we're going to get our tags done, and we'll be through with this project. This has been a long one. It's been a long process, but that's how some of these projects go. And in fact, this one actually made that much more bulk to the center. So let's close it up and let you see what it done. Let me slide it back in the center. But you're going to see that this added a little bit of bulk, but it's not horrible. It's not a horrendous amount of bulk to that book. So just keep in mind, this is a good example. I want you to understand that this is where your book starts getting thicker and thicker and thicker on this side. It just keeps getting thicker. So you got to be aware when you're making, you got to be aware. That's the word I want, aware. You have to be aware when you're making these that every layer of paper that you add to your inserts and things is increasing the volume of your book, which is going to increase the spine of your book. So if you pre-prepped for a 3-inch spine, you're going to have to be very cautious by the time you've made 7 or 8 of these special type inserts to go in it. You need to be aware that you've added quite a bit of volume to your book, and start checking, because at that point, what you want to do, really what you want to do at that point, is just simply start going back through your cutouts, and start looking for just simple pockets that are in the kit. This is where your pockets really come in, which I think I've used all the ones I've already cut out on a prior project that here you go. You start looking for pockets like this that you're just going to add, you're just going to add to pages like this page here. You might just want a set of pockets that go like this in some asymmetrical format here. Now, these are not quite the way it was, but that's what you'll start doing to start reducing the amount of volume you're adding to your book. So that's really important to keep in mind, that this is a phase you're going to get to. And you could actually, on this page here, I have 3 different size pockets. You could actually possibly do that. You wouldn't want anything that's going to stick out of this pocket very high if you're going to add this little extra here to it. But anyway, this is what you can do here. And then, there's just lots of things you could add without adding extreme volume to your book. So be aware of it. So we're almost finished with this one. It's not going to add much volume putting the pockets and tags in this one. So that's our last and final step on this one, is just to get the pocket and tags done. So we're going to do that next. If you'll just give me just a few minutes to gather everything and get my wits together, we'll finish up this video and move on to the next project. And I do have something when I get to the end. I'm going to do another video in a few minutes or in a little while of a new kit that I've got coming. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be posted today, the new kit, or at least portions of the new kit. As you know, as I start designing a journal, a lot of times I add things to the kit. But the basic portion of the kit will be shown to you hopefully today. So just give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, I've gone ahead and picked out the tags that we're going to put in the book. Okay, I was lucky on this one, really lucky. I was able to find everything I needed without having to make extra tags. So this is where these are all coming out of the kit, as you see. So we're going to go ahead and prep these and get these ready to go in here. And simple prep, of course, it's our typical prep. So this is some of that stuff that's not so interesting, but still has to get done. The first thing I've got to do is find a piece of heavy cardstock. I hope I've got a piece right here. I use it about as fast as I get it most of the time. Aha, thank you, Heavenly Father. Got one here. All right. First thing I'm going to do is the tedious stuff that you guys all know the process of. We're going to glue our printed pieces that we cut out from our kits. We're going to go ahead and glue them to this piece of paper here. Start giving ourselves a nice firm tag and nice firm cards. Okay, so this is the step. And the video is really, really long, so I'm going to cut it off for a second, guys, while I do all this gluing. Because if you do not know how to glue by now, you need to go back and watch some more of my videos and then come back to this one. Because I am going to just cut this off for a minute and do this gluing on. I may even go ahead and cut them out before I come back to you because I don't want to keep adding so much length to this. So just bear with me. I'm cutting off for a minute. Okay, I've got them all glued on. So next step is another thing that I'm not going to put y'all through the torture of, and that's cutting them off of out of the 110 cardstock. We're going to get that done. And then what we'll do next is we'll punch the holes. I'll go find some ribbon to go to make the bows, and we're going to finish up, okay? Okay, we've got everything cut out. Now, it's just a matter of whatever we're going to do as far as decorating tags go. I see little white spots, so if you see me grab my scissors every now and then, it's because I've just seen a little too much white sticking out from behind. But there again, that's where my little sanding block comes in. My emery board. I don't know what I did with it earlier. Oh, there it is. I see it hiding way over here. Okay. Sometimes I have to just finish up this little bit of smoothing here and there to knock out some of the white. But we're going to stain them or ink them. I call them staining. I guess inking is the proper word. And I really, yeah, I guess we all develop our own lingo for what we do. So for me, it's staining the edges. All right, now. That's my next step. Take my, and I really am just, you know, touching the outside edges. I'm not really doing a whole lot on the front. I mean, it may dab a little bit here and there on the front, but for the most part, I'm just trying to stain the edge there. Okay. The other thing is I've left this white on the back, and we really need to do something else. And you know, if you know anything about me, I like my cards really thick, and they're still too flimsy for me. So I'm actually going to find some more papers that I can glue on these on and get a nice back to them. So here we go again. I said I wasn't going to put y'all through this. But if we're going to do it, we might as well do it right, right? So here we go again. Gluing again. On here. Making sure I keep some writing space on the back. Here again. Now this piece is not, it's not the 110 pound. It's just the 28 pounds. So it's just a small another layer to give me some strength. The glue will help strengthen it out. Okay, and again, I do not want to put y'all through extending this video too long, so I'm going to just temporarily cut it off while I glue this side, okay? Okay, we're about there. Long process, guys. This has been a long video. All right, I've got the backs done. These have lines on the front, so I just put a pattern on the back of those. These are all got plenty of writing space on the back. And I didn't catch that one. I just noticed a white line on this one. So I'm going to have to come in and do a cloudy something. Never fails. It's always something. But there again, I'm going to just come in like this. And just gently stain it up a little. Okay. And there, the white line's gone, and it's perfect. Well, as perfect as it's going to get anyway. Perfect to me. Perfectly art. Okay, I'm going to stain these edges, get rid of the white spots. Just really quick staining, nothing fast, nothing, it takes a lot of time, just do it. And I want a little bit to go on this back since it's so bland. Okay, this one's almost done. I guess I've pre-done that one. Okay. Okay, these are really looking beautiful to me. And now they're a lot thicker, firmer. Just that one more layer made a big difference in how the texture of the card feels in your hands. This one takes a little bit more work because of all these little edges here. But you see that white space? I don't know how well in the video you can see it, but there's a lot of white there. And that's all I'm trying to do is knock that white off those edges there. Just the edges. I'm not worried so much about any of this stain getting on the front or the, Okay, I've seen the line on this one. I'm going to have to touch that up with a little bit of staining. Okay, just come in and do this. Okay, plenty of writing spots left. Okay, there we go. All right, now they're all stained. Now, let's get in this wrap up here. Okay, let me look over here behind me and grab me some ribbon. I want to do some ribbons. We're going to do a few little, just really simple, nothing that's going to add too much bulk. Because like I say, as you saw, this one's already kind of bulky, and I don't want to add more bulk to this one particular piece. And what you hear me in the background, I'm trying to get my ribbon started. That was all I was trying to do here. Get my ribbon going. So there's one design. I got a little sheer gingham check here. That's another ribbon. How many we got? 1, 2, 3. We got 4, 6 tags. So that's 2 ribbons. We don't have to have everyone different, but I don't want too many the same. There's a yellow with a pretty gold fleck on the edge. They almost put this plastic around these ribbons where I just about can't get it off. I do not like that. That's 3. I guess we could do, there's one brown one. I don't want, yeah, we can, 1, 2, 3. I think I'd rather have one with the brown in it. 3. So much yellow and 1 brown. I'm just going to choose 3. Okay, that's what we're doing. I'm just going to choose 3. All right. So, next step, the easy stuff. Let's see if we can find the stuff we need. Okay, easy peasy stuff here. We're going to go right in here and punch our hole. And I'm not even measuring, guys. It's such a small top there. It's going to be very close no matter what I do. We're going to get right as close to the center as we possibly can, just eyeing it. Okay. This one's closed. Already got a small punch printed on it, but we're going to just go on around it. Okay. And because these are already so thick, I'm not going to put the little protector rings. A lot of times I will take my ring punch and punch the little ring around it, but I'm not going to do that on these. I just don't see the need for it. Now, this kind of tag is a fancy tag. It's in the kit. All these are in the kit. All these are in the kit. I'm just going to cut off a couple little pieces of the ribbon here. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do a bow or not. I'll let you know in just a minute. We're going to start, though, with just a little basic twist. This one has got so much print on one side and not on the other. I think I'm just going to, I don't think I'm going to do a bow on these. I'm not. I'm just going to do my normal, just single tie. Okay, put that like that. I'm going to put glue on it. And because I'm not doing a bow, I'm going to tie one more knot. And I want it to kind of be right at the top up here. Putting on the edge of my thing, you can't see it really well, but I'm just twisting the ribbon, okay? And I'm going to try to come right on the top there, okay? And that just gives you a little bit of just a little ribbon right like that, okay? And just cut it off. I don't want it really long. Okay, there's one. Okay. We're going to move both of these the same. Simple ribbon, simple tie. I really cut too much off to do this, but I thought I might do a bow, but I'm not. On the top, like so, on the top. Put a little bit of glue underneath. This is just to stabilize it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It won't move or jar or go anywhere. And we're going to turn it around again and pull it right onto the top. That second knot. Okay. Okay. I'm going to put it a little tighter so it's not so bulky looking. Okay, there we go. Cut it short that way and a little bit shorter that way. And that one's done. Now you can twist these and mess with them until you get them standing up or whatever you want to do. I let them kind of fall naturally in the south. Alright, let's go with this pretty gingham on two. We'll do it on the ones that's got the writing. Because see what it is they're in each pocket. These are going in pockets. I think there's 3 on each side. Okay, same thing again. I'm just going to, I want to do a bow. Yeah, I might do a bow. Let me cut this one a little. I don't have a lot of, okay. Well, we're only going to do 2, so let's just cut it in half. That's too much. Okay, let's cut it in, I think right about there will do it. I might can make a bow out of that much. That's like, how many inches? 12 inches. I might can make a bow. We can't. Okay, put that aside. We don't need any more of that. Cut this in half. Alright. Let's see if we can do a little bow on this one. Just a little one. I don't want it really big and bulky. Okay. I always put a little bit of glue in mine, guys, when I'm tying them, just to be safe. It dries clear, so it's no big deal. And because this is sheer and double-sided, it shouldn't be complicated to just tie a bow with this. And I say it shouldn't be. I am trying to tie it really small, and my big old fat fingers don't want to cooperate. Okay. And you don't want it twisted. So I just keep pulling until I get it the size I want it, and I pull it again. And it does take a little time to keep, you have to keep pulling. This will be about the last time. Pull it really tight. Pull it down a little, and there's my little bow. Okay, I got me a cute little size bow there. My glue is drying, and I don't even think I'm going to cut much off of that one. For right now, we're going to leave it and see how it works out. Okay, same thing with this next one. I don't like doing bows on video because I really need to get them up here in my lap where I can work with them, but we're managing, aren't we? We're doing that fair. Okay, put a little bit of glue underneath again. Say it will dry clear. If it shows up right to start with, it will dry clear. Okay. Here, and back through. Just a simple bow. Okay, that one, unfortunately, I turned my paper upside down, and I don't want it upside, I want to do it this way. Okay. I'm thinking, yeah. There we go. I'll come back. I lost the other side somehow. There it is. Okay, there we go. Same thing again. We're going to have to tighten it and pull. Tighten it and pull until we get it where we want it. Tightening it and pulling it. Get the bow we want. Okay, it's starting to dry now. And I about got the bow where I want it. There we go. That one's done. You see it? Okay. And this one we're going to do with this little shiny edge to it. And it's just going to be the same thing. Just a basic tie. Okay. Make sure it stays on top. I've got to get my glue in here. Get my glue between the two pieces. Bring it around the front a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, there's that one. Nothing fancy. Simple bows. Simple pulls. This is a tag pull. When you don't have a full bow, I call it a tag pull. So this style here is a pull, that style's a bow. Like I say, you can mess with them and get them standing straight up or both of them laying straight over to the side, however you want to do it. They keep pulling it after you put it in. Okay, guess what? We got that much done. Now, I'm going to show you one last thing that I did while we were off camera. Shame on me, right? But I told you earlier that I was concerned about the fact that I had used just a 28-pound paper on here, and it's only a single layer for this middle. I went out and got my Scotch washi tape. I'm going to have to glue a little bit more of it. It looks like it's not holding with the thing. And this is really important through the center, guys. But I put a piece of washi tape. It's a little sparkly, mauve color, little flecky thing right down the middle. It's not making a lot of difference in the design, but that side stayed down good. I don't know why. One side did and one side didn't. I might not have pressed it like this. Okay? But that gave me a really sturdy, this is a Scotch brand, and it's a glitter. It's a glitter tape. I've had it a while, but it worked perfectly with this color. And I also done it on the outside. You don't see that much of it when it's closed. But this is where the stitching is going to go through. And if it's going to pull and tug, this is where it's going to pull and tug at. So that was my way of securing my center. And it's still added to the design. It's really pretty and decorative. All right, we got to make sure this is staying down. It's being stubborn with me today. I guess it's because of the embossing kind of popping up a little bit. That's okay. We got it. So there's your basics. Now let's put our tags in. Put the pretty reading room tag on this side. And yes, the tag can stick up over the thing a little. And this is the pretty gazebo on this side. And then on the inside, we use two. We've got one of the journaling cards with the dog on one side and the guitar fancy tags. We call them fancy tags. I call these fancy cuts or fancy tags. Okay, and then on this side, we got the kitty cat with the gingham bow and the beautiful mason jar design on this side. Now you can put whatever you want in yours, but that is our completed project, guys. This is the 4-pocket centerfold that I've done. And now, technically, you do not have to put this in the center if you don't want to. You can actually forget this side and just glue it down to something. But these were specifically designed for a centerfold, where you've got two pieces coming together. Now, the one other thing you can do. All right, and I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to show you another option. So now that you've got yours complete, You do not have to put it in the center. Now, this is where mine is going. And the reason is matching, everything matches. But let me show you something else. You can actually put it somewhere else in your book like this. Put your pages back on like this, okay? And when you sew this in, when it's sewn in, you'll have a flip on this page like this. Then you can do whatever else. You can have a hidden something under here, or the hidden pocket, whatever on this page. Flip it out, and it's going to be the same way on the back side. You can have a design that flips out this way. So you don't have to have it in your center if you don't want to. That's strictly up to you. There's a lot of ways you can do it. And again, remember, we're going to do another one later. But remember, I said, and I can't on this one but you can flip it. Let me find one that I've already got done. Here's one I've got partially done, I think. Let me show you another way you can. This is the same basic technique, okay? Just a little bit different with different pockets and all. But you can actually leave it this way and glue this side down, and there's your pocket here and your pocket here. And this one would really, this one really would work good in the other area. But that is another way you can use it. This is your base form, though. Remember, once you get your base form, what you do to the inside and the flaps and the outside flaps, that's all up to you. Because, I mean, you really could actually add a pocket on these here. I mean, it's just a lot you can do. So once you've got down your basic format, which is the 6" by 13 inches, this length, folded this way, you got it, guys. It's not hard at all to do all kinds. You can take this one particular pattern and do so many different things with it. Nobody would know that it was learned off the same tutorial, one tutorial teaching maybe 5, 6, 8, 10 ways you can do it. I don't know. That's what I'd love to see you guys do. I'd love to see you guys do some of these basic form, the basic form right here. And I'd love to see how y'all decorate them. So consider doing that for me. I've also got a Facebook page, the Altered Book Nook on Facebook. It's a little page I've got there. Go there and show me, take a photo and show me what you do. I would love to see it. So, but that is our 4-pocket, our beautiful 4-pocket centerfold for our sunny sunflower days. And so this is Nana K signing off. It was a pretty long little video, about an hour and a half, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a little bit today. Again, I apologize for the little quirks and mess-ups, but that's all part of crafting. So it's Nana K signing off on this beautiful Labor Day weekend. I will be adding another video right behind this one of a new kit that is coming out for the Christmas holidays. We're getting ready to start on that. And from that point on, we may be working on 2 different journals during the week. So Nana K signing off. Have a blessed day. Give a hug to everybody in your family. Make sure you love your family, because family is the most precious gift we're given. All righty. Bye-bye. See you later.